Hi everyone, it's Christine with Faith in Books. If you love storybooks or picture books, I have some new titles that I think you'll really enjoy. Let's start with Red, Red, Red. This is great for kiddos who might be having temper tantrums or maybe something's not going their way. It's a great storybook about this little boy who all he was trying to do is get some biscuits or cookies, and he had a very, very hard time. Instead of getting the cookies, he ended up falling, and that made him upset, and then that of course triggered all these other things to go wrong, and he ends up throwing a temper tantrum. The book also introduces counting as a gentle way to calm him down from being so upset. And it's just a great way to talk with your child about maybe counting as a way to calm him or her down during those situations. I love this book. This is great for ages 2 to 4, but my son is 6 and we read this the other day and he loved it as well. Best Behavior is also one of our new titles. This will talk about all these fun, colorful characters right here, and it'll show you scenarios that they go through every day and some of the best behaviors for each scenario. So getting washed, brushing your teeth every day, like a daily routine. When you go to school, for example, let me read you one of the pages here. When you go to school, you say good morning, and there's a proper place for everything. It's something we all find out. Hang up your coat and your scarf, please. Don't leave things lying about. So this is a great lesson about picking up after yourself, not only at school, but maybe at home as well. This is great for ages 3 to 7, but I love it because each page will have its own story and has a lesson for our readers to take away. If you love Dragon Post, you'll love our new title, Beast Feast. This one will have letters inside on the pages as well. This is about a beast who's trying to eat this little boy and make him his feast. So he decides to write invitations out to all his friends to make a huge dinner event out of it. And then all his friends end up writing a letter back, letting him know, well, hey, I want to come, but I do like this and I do like that in my food or whatnot. And he comes to realize, man, it's a lot more work than it's worth, and he ends up becoming friends with this little boy. So in the end, you find out that their friendship turns out to be the best feast of all. So this is another great story, which we really, really enjoy. Speaking of great stories, how about the biggest story of them all? This is one of our new titles as well. It's about a little boy who loves hearing stories from his mom, but his mom was a little busy that one day and says, hey, listen, I've got to fix this sink. I have a lot going on. Why don't you go and make up your own story? So he starts thinking about it, and he's like, well, I don't know if I can make up my own story. I don't know how to do it. Then he finds out that he lets his imagination go wild, and he realizes that his story is actually a lot of fun, and he ends up sharing that story with his mom later, which turns out to be the biggest and best story of all. It's a very, very cute storybook. Love from Alfie McPoonst, The Best Dog Ever. This is a story that's really close to my heart. We lost our dog, our standard poodle Lana, almost 2 years ago. And it's still very hard to go through Christmases and holidays without her. But when I read this, yes, it did bring tears to my eyes, but I loved it because Alfie McPoonst goes over the rainbow, but he writes to his previous owner, Izzy, every day to let her know that he is in doggy heaven, very, very happy, and some of the fun things that he gets to do up there to try to let her know that he misses her dearly, but he is doing very, very well. And it's just a very touching book that has a good balance between humor and also emotions. So it's a story that I know will touch your heart. This is great for ages 4 and up. It's Love from Alfie McPoonst, The Best Dog Ever. I Breathe is another great title to deal with emotions. This one will focus more on child-friendly yoga poses. So if you're into yoga, this is a great book. But even if you're not, this is a great book for adults as well, that we learn or maybe forget about some of these practices that can help deal with our emotions throughout the day. So it'll teach you some of the poses that you can do with your kids, but also breathing exercises that they can do as well. Just a beautiful book. I love the illustrations, but it's called I Breathe. And I think, like I said, we will benefit from this one too. All right, for our older readers, we have the Travels of Omen. This is a great chapter book. It's actually 3 stories in one of this in this book. And what I love about it is it takes you to London, it takes you to Sydney, it takes you to New York. This is for our older readers here, but it's written with a lot of humor. It will have you laughing all throughout the book, as well as make you feel like you're really on this journey with Ermin. This is great for ages 7 and up. Last but certainly not least, if you love our graphic novels like I do, see, I have quite a few here, including The Odyssey, Thor, just to name a few. Our new title that just came out in the series is Alice in Wonderland, the classic. It's retold in the comic book fashion, if you will. I love the illustrations in here. This is, once again, it's great to add to your collection, especially if you like our graphic novels already. We also have Hamlet, which is a new title in the graphic series, and this is for ages 10 and up.